I went Christmas shopping at the dollar store, 'cause I had a long list of holiday chores. Those sleigh bells jingled as I walked through the door. I saw trash and tinsel all over the floor. I saw stressed out husbands with stressed out wives. I saw mothers with children with tears in their eyes. They were crying out, screaming, "Mother, I want this," as they would be reminded of the naughty list. Then I saw a grandmother, she was frail and gray. As she walked down the aisle, she shoved me out of the way. I saw the same knuckleheads from up the street as they ripped through the store like savage beasts. I saw a dude with the bottle, he was acting hard, getting thrown out of the store by the security guard. I saw people grabbing almost anything as a gift so they could say they were finished and cross it off of the list. I saw two ladies fighting in aisle 3, and that's when I said that's enough for me. I took all of my items, I threw them down on the floor. Without saying a word, I walked out the front door. When I got to the corner, I looked back once more, shook my head and said that was like fighting a war.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the very first episode of the Warcast. It is a Center Beacon podcast. So you can check this out when you're out, running errands in the car, you're stuck in traffic, you're on the train, you're on the bus. You don't actually have to watch a video. It's just going to be maybe a couple of images, a slate or two, and then it will just be the melodious sound of my voice, hopefully bringing you guys some pretty entertaining and informative content. So that said, we're going to get right into it, and this first inaugural episode, special guest star Stupendous from the Stupendous channel on YouTube, a great channel you need to check out, and we are going to get right into the show momentarily. Thanks for listening. I don't know, impose my obnoxious personality on people, and who wouldn't want to see that, right?
Well, I love it, so.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hang out with you.
Yes, and we need to play together more, too. I think we played like once, we ran a few matches or whatever. And
yeah, then I think I ran into you once, like on Power Plant, but you were red.
Yeah, I know, and I think your team smoked me too. I think that it was one of those 3-minute matches, that's just there's no hope. So yeah, that was.
Dude, that's been the last 2 days. That's been the majority of my matches is getting completely wrecked.
Are you playing?
I think it's because my win percentage went over 80%. Because as soon as that happened. I got teamed up with the dumbest people on the planet.
Wait a second. Are you telling me that win percentages go to 80%? Because
apparently.
I thought, according to my stats, they're capped at 50%. So are we back on this where you've hacked your phone? Is that what's going on? You've Oh, okay. Air quotes.
I hacked the server. Yeah.
Air quotes. You've rooted your phone, and now mysteriously your win percentage is triple digits or something. That's interesting, Stu. That's an interesting revelation there. So,
yeah, and I only had like 300 gold yesterday, but today I had 20,000. So yeah.
Do you think that's what Adrian does? Have you seen Adrian's screens?
He's got 2 billion silver. I think a lot of that is
something scandalous is afoot with that guy, because I'm teasing, of course. I love Adrian, but I saw the thing. I was watching a live stream or something the other day of his, and because he live streams every day, and I didn't stay in school long enough to be able to read the number that represents the amount of silver that he has. I'm photoshopping. Yeah, I'm I think those are billions. I'm photoshopping my hanger when I do a video, so people think that I'm some kind of guru, and but in reality I have 111 silver. I've got 9 gold. But
you can't even go out and grab a Cossack if you wanted to.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm I'm doing short-term loans so I can buy like a Cossack, and it's ridiculous. But what I do have is I have like zillions of incredibly valuable workshop points. Thank you. Like, because that's
now the new bots are snowflakes, which isn't even a thing yet.
Yeah, snowflakes. And we're gonna get into that too, because I have a whole I have an agenda, Stu. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I have an agenda here.
I do.
So actually, that's probably a good time to segue. Let me see if you can hear this. All right,
I love it.
That is my agenda.
Like, I pictured it at like arm's length, and then it shaking, kind of thing, like you're trying to read it.
Yeah. I'm rustling papers because that's how professional this operation is over here. Actually, this is a piece of paper I tore out of a notebook, and it's not even like a full size notebook. It's like it's like a pocket notebook, but nonetheless, it is official. So okay, so let's look at the agenda. So now that we've been talking for a little bit here and kind of carrying on and probably all stuff I'm going to have to edit out. But so if you haven't guessed already, we have a special guest here. This is Stupendous, and he has a pretty amazing YouTube channel, and it is also named Stupendous, which is kind of redundant, but he's Stupendous. His channel is Stupendous.
But yeah.
Okay, but if you see what we're doing there, he's Stupendous, people. Okay, so check that out, and I will have like links and all kinds of stuff that you can click on to go find his channel. And he's actually a really cool guy, and he's one of the first guys that kind of like saw my channel and was like, "Hey man, like I like what you're doing," and really tried like go out of his way to help me. So Stu, if I have not officially thanked you, thank you for that. That was really cool.
Welcome, man.
Really cool when you're first starting out and somebody's like, "Oh, hey man, like let me help you." Instead of like, "Oh, hey man, let me like, try to crush you." I don't want you getting my subs
just to my channel.
Yeah, because those people can only sub to one channel. So it's like, but sometimes it's almost kind of like that. I've heard stories of there being beef between hosts. And such as we will not get into here, of course, because this is all friendly. But how about if there are, because like literally now, Stu, I don't know if you know, but I have tens of viewers. So.
Tens of
yes
Dude, you're at like, I think you have 900 subscribers now, man.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
900?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me gander just really quick,
because it's probably like is it like favorited on your device, like you just press one button and like all my stuff comes up?
Yeah, it's just this link. It's actually, as soon as I unlock my phone, that's my home screen.
Oh well,
it's actually a widget of your channel.
I have a widget? I didn't even know that. Wait, what is that going to cost me?
What does your heart tell you?
Oh man, it tells me it's probably going to be several $100s, like everything else that I've done, for this channel. I'm in the hole. I'm probably going to have to do this for like another 20 years just to dig out of this financial hole from investing in all this equipment.
So right now, the YouTube says that you have 910 subscribers.
Get out of here. That is amazing. And I credit a lot of that to
1,000.
I credit a lot of that to people like yourself. Like I said, Stu was one of the first guys. Like, people like if you have like, 18 subscribers, like no one gives like a crap about you. And I think when I had 18 subscribers, like Stu messaged me and was like, "Dude, like, I love your stuff and like, how can I help you?" and blah, blah, blah. And it was really cool. So it turns out like Stu and I were kind of like Facebook friends and everything. And seriously, one of the nicest guys out there. I mean, it's ridiculous. And you really don't run into people like this. Most of them, especially like on robots, it's like this ego thing. And like, you're a noob. And like, I'm a god. And like, pound get wrecked, fool. And, there's kind of like this animosity.
Oh, you can't run this bot. You can't use these weapons because that's not cool.
Right. And if you do, you're somehow like an unfit human. That's basically like, what I've been told. So Stu is one of the few guys out there that is really, really cool, has a really good channel. He does a lot of stuff with tactics and strategy, and that Thunder Carnage video we were talking about earlier, it is really a neat video. So you gotta check that out. I guess like I said, I have tens of viewers, apparently now hundreds. If there's anybody that's subbed to my channel that is not yet subbed to your channel, do you want to tell them a little bit about your channel and kind of like what you do and what your take on the game is?
Yeah. So with my channel, I post live commentary videos. That's something that I do. That when I started, I don't know if anyone else was doing that, and I still don't think there's tons of people that do that right now. It's usually post commentary or no commentary or like subtitles and stuff.
Mm.
And so what I like to do with mine is just as I'm playing, I'm just recording. I use a separate phone because I don't like the mic on the phone that I play on. But so I use a separate phone to record myself while I'm playing and everything. And I talk through what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, like in the moment kind of thing. So that's probably what most people that come and hang out on my channel, that's probably what they're drawn to. And then I haven't been able to in a little while, but I like to upload tutorials when I can.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a Carnage Thunders tutorial and then a pretty decent Galahad tutorial as well from when he first came out.
Yeah, I actually saw the Galahad one, and that's a solid video. Especially for like newer players that are looking for, you know how it is when you first start. You're like, where am I on this map? Where do I go? So if you watch Stu's videos, it's going to be like shortcut to blue beacons and green screens of wind type thing. So definitely check that out. So Stu, I have a few bits and segments that I do on the show. This is the first episode, by the way. There will be an incredible voiceover introduction later on in what we call post processing. It's very complicated.
I'm excited for that.
So that's going to be amazing. So Stu, when this podcast goes up, be sure you check that out and crank your speakers up to 11 because it's going to really knock your socks off. But so I have some bits and segments and things, mostly to terrorize Stu, that I created earlier. But first, Stu, Merry Christmas. Let me be the first of your fans to tell you Merry Christmas.
Thanks, man.
Because I mean, like it's totally sneaking up. Now I'm at work. I have 9 or 11 jobs, as some people know, and so I'm constantly busy, constantly traveling. So I'm like not tracking the holiday at all. And I keep watching this thing in the lower right corner of my desktop. Some people call it a calendar, but it's just the thing that tells me the time and date. And it's like the 18th where I am. Like Christmas is that's like what, like a week?
Yeah, you're a good 7 days away.
So now that my math has been verified, I want to ask Stu. This is a Christmas themed show. Stu, I wish you could see this graphic that's going to be up right now. I wish we were screen sharing right now. Or actually, you know what? Let me close several tabs, and then we can screen share because that would be embarrassing. Okay, so now that those tabs are closed, and we won't talk about those because it's a family show. So Christmas themed. So Stu, tell me, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Let's get in the spirit here.
So if I was choosing favorites, I'd probably have to say The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch.
Okay. All right. Interesting choice. Not exactly a classic, Stu.
No, it's not. We watch White Christmas every year. That's a family tradition.
Okay, that is a classic. That is a good one.
Over from my wife's family.
That is a more acceptable response.
Grinch is mildly hilarious, so I enjoy that one.
All right. My favorite movie, if anybody cares, is a Christmas movie, Die Hard. It's it has everything. You know what I mean? I mean, that is like that's going to put you in the mood. Okay? If you guys are on Christmas break and you're trying to get into the spirit, you're not really feeling it, the economy's got you down or something, watch Die Hard because that movie, that's the stuff that Win is made of. Okay? So that's my favorite. That's my favorite Christmas movie. So another thing that Stu doesn't realize that I have planned for him, that he has already previously agreed to in a written contract, is he is going to sing his favorite Christmas carol for all of the listeners. His favorite Christmas carol. Stu, which carol did you plan on singing today?
I don't know. I've always been a big fan of Silent Night.
Oh, Silent Night. Okay, let's hear a little bit of Silent Night.
Waiting. Should we just get into it?
Waiting. Yeah, let's hear it. Let it rip.
All right. Silent Night.
Okay, so we're gonna move on with the show here. I didn't think he was actually gonna do it. Okay, so I have now the tables have been turned. Stu has flipped.
What's up, Woodlock?
Yeah, I know, right? Point Stu. The the tables have been turned.
I happen to love singing, so
it figures that you're probably like in the choir or something, and like have this awesome singing voice. So Stu has flipped the script on me here, folks.
In a quartet tomorrow.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
See, I did not know any of this, but I do know some things about Stupendous, folks, that you may not. And this is a little segment I like to call 5 Things You Didn't Know About Stupendous. Okay, so I've done a lot of research. My staff has been working around the clock. We have assembled a list of 5 things that like no one knows about you. Okay. So I'm going to read them, and then you confirm or deny. Okay? And if you deny, like, they're still true. Just so you know. So, okay.
All right.
So are you ready? Prepare yourself.
Okay.
Number 1, you hate puppies. You hate puppies so bad that if you even, like, see a puppy, you will just kick it and just, like, send it through the uprights like an NFL kicker on the game-winning field goal. Am I right? Confirm or deny?
Confirm.
Oh, my God. Oh. Absolutely shocking. I thought for sure you would try to deny that one. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so, all right. Stu doesn't really hate puppies. He doesn't kick them. Please stop dialing authorities and, things.
Yeah.
Please stop trying to ban my channel, before it even starts. Okay, so Stu does not, in fact, hate puppies. Bad information on my part. I have no idea. I'll speak to my staff. All right.
Yeah, we'll have to fire that guy.
Number 2. Your wife has no idea you even have a YouTube channel, and you're secretly ashamed.
Deny.
Deny it? You're denying that? She does, in fact, know about your channel?
That's true.
You're not a closet YouTuber?
Baby right now, so that I can do this. So.
What? Oh, that is an awesome wife. On the topic of wives, I mean, we get, this stuff's hard to do if you don't have some good support at home. I've been very fortunate. My wife will I'm like, honey, I got, it's so nerdy, but honey, I got to record a video. Can you take the kids to the park or something? And she totally does. I mean, how awesome is that? So that's really commendable. That's awesome that your wife is making stuff happen. So, you can, further your YouTube supportive empire. That's great. All right. So deny on that one. He is not secretly ashamed, at least that he'll publicly admit. Okay. Number 3, moving along quickly here. You've been to Disney World over 40 times as an adult, but have never taken your children. Wow. What's going on there, Stu? What's that about? That's a little weird, frankly.
Well, have you ever tried to take children anywhere?
Well, yes, as one of the few people,
Much
Stu,
less than the most crowded place in the United States.
Yeah, instead of the happiest place on earth, it's the crowdest, stinkiest, noisiest, fightingest, craziest place on earth.
Candid, that's actually how I view Disney World and Disney.
It is actually pretty terrible. Yeah, I hate to burst any bubbles there, but yeah, it's awful. I have no desire to go. I love Disney stuff, and I have no desire to go to somewhere like that. Yeah, it's
ludicrously expensive.
It is. It's ridiculously expensive. It's a nightmare, and also now I believe they require DNA. So, it started with bracelets, and then it was fingerprints, and now they want your blood. You know what I mean? I'm not giving you my blood, Disney. That's just totally weird, because I have these visions of there's a clone, of me now, operating levers, in the bowels of under the Disney castle or something, not being paid or hardly fed. And, it's no, you're not getting my blood, people. This is strange. So yeah, some people know that I have lots of children. I almost need more than one hand to count them all. So Stu is actually talking to one of the few people he probably knows, or maybe not, but probably one of the few people that actually has more kids than he does. So I am well aware of the travails of taking one child, let alone 4 or 5, anywhere. We go nowhere at my house. The kids, they know they're on lockdown. We're not going anywhere. That's
pretty much how our house is too. We'll go hit some places on a Tuesday afternoon when nobody else will be there, but for the most part we just hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and move on. That was interesting. Let's go ahead and move on to number 4. you think professional wrestling is real. Is that true?
That is not true.
That is okay. So you're denying that one as well.
I used to think it was true.
Despite everything that I've researched and been told about you, you're going to go ahead and all right. That's kind of shocking.
Well, you know what? I don't blame that on you. I mean, I know you have staff and everything, and I'm sure you have an HR department as well. And
many departments.
If you blame it on anybody, it's definitely the human resource department.
I will speak with them shortly after this podcast concludes, and they will feel my wrath. Okay, so last, number 5. 5 things you didn't know about Stupendous. Okay, prepare yourself. You appeared in the 3rd Harry Potter movie. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so I think the name of that, what was it? It was like Goblets of Azkaban or something like that.
Well, that'll be The Prisoner of Azkaban. I just want it to be right out there, for everyone who goes and watches it. I was actually the model for the dog that Sirius Black turns into. Really?
That is, you said that you were going to reveal some things when I invited you on the show, but that is actually shocking. The model for the dog. Yeah, so you're well versed in your Harry Potter. I'm finding
this is my voice. Oh yeah. I speak Harry Potter fluently actually, but yeah, as far as like the person that you guys have seen like on my channel, like with the pictures and stuff, like for the face reveal and all that stuff, like that's
CGI.
So that's actually my cousin, and
okay.
We just use my voice over top of that. He does a really good job working well with me, and then whatever's off, like with the mouth and everything like that, we just tweak that, after the fact.
Okay, and
I'm a giant black dog.
That is terrifying. I'd like to point out that it was Stu that actually used the proper title of the film. J.K. Rowling, if you're out there suing people, do not sue me. That was Stu. If you notice, I cleverly used an alternate name and pretended like I didn't know the name of the movie, even though I really didn't. But I still am pretending. So that was Stu, J.K. Don't come after me because I don't have any money at all. All right, so that was 5 things you didn't know about Stupendous, and I think you sailed through that with flying colors. That was pretty well done.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the manner in which you asked the questions. It was good.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, I didn't want to surprise you with anything crazy, so I figured let me just ask some, some normal stuff that came up in our research, and I'm like, I'm not going to ask anything weird, right? So,
well, you're not that kind of person. So.
No, exactly. No, I'm totally not weird at all. Ask my wife and my mom; they will tell you I'm a good boy. So, so to get into kind of like the meat of this thing, we're going to cover a couple topics. I have a slate. That's what it's called in the biz, by the way, Stu. It's called a slate. At least I think it is. That's what I researched on Google. And so you can't see it, but it has a list of stuff that we're discussing. So when you see the final podcast, you can see this and kind of keep track of what we're talking about because clearly we've gone off the rails already several times. This will need to be heavily edited in post-processing.
Like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is like a 40-minute conversation that I'll probably whittle down to like 2 or 3 minutes. No big deal. Mostly me talking. Stu laughing at my jokes. That's pretty much it. So I came up with a podcast. Kind of, I did an intro podcast. I keep using the word video. It's not really a video because you're staring at a static image, but it's kind of like a video. It's like a moving picture, like they used to say back in the 20s. I came up with the idea of like, hey, videos are great, but some of the topics that like we want to get into and discuss, what am I going to do? I'm going to show like random gameplay footage while I talk about, some kind of like social issue in the game or like, it's just kind of like, can be, just kind of unnecessary. So I'm like, okay, like podcasts are a thing, it's just audio, it's kind of like radio. And I thought, okay, cool. It's actually kind of more portable because, like while Stu's in the gym, probably, I don't know. I think I read you have a 500-pound bench press. Is that true? We'll save that for next time. But anyways, you don't have to confirm or deny that. But while Stu's in the gym, like Jack and Steel, he could listen to my show. Like not a video though, because you're doing something else, right? You're in the car, you're driving. You put the thing, the phone thing, like talks to like the stereo thing, because everybody's got all this stuff now. It's Bluetooth and it's like you stream to this. and you can just listen to the show. I don't want to do a video. Don't watch a video while you're in your car because then you crash. That's bad, and I don't want that. So I thought
for a commute.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, because, clearly there's an audience for this stuff, right? I mean, like, Robots, I think, has, over 10 million downloads. Adrian is, Adrian Chong, if you've seen his videos, this guy's like Elvis. You know what I mean? Like, he's amazing. There's all these guys out there with these huge channels, and so I'm figuring, all right, there's a market for this. People probably want to hear about robots when they can't play. That's my big thing. I'm always reading stuff on Facebook, and I'm like, let's do something they can listen to, while you're vacuuming the rug, or you're I don't know, making dinner or whatever it is, but you don't have time to watch, So, and it kind of lends itself.
It's a great idea.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you said that, because you could have totally, probably shot me down right there and said something mean like most people do to me. But
whoa, Warlock! This idea blows. Let's just cut it right now.
Why did I even agree to this? This is totally stupid. This show blows. So I thought, okay.
If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Warlock. So his channel, if you look for it on YouTube, it's the Center Beacon. And forevermore, after watching any of his channel, every time you talk about or think about the Center Beacon while you're playing the game, you're going to think about his channel, which is perfect.
You see, that was part of my insidious marketing plan. I took a page out of the playbooks of the big boys, things like Big Cereal, it's insidious. They get into children's minds, and then, every time you think about anything, you can't help but think about Count Chocula or something. So I figured, what can I call my channel that, every time they play a match, oh man, we got to recapture the Center Beacon, and they're like, oh dang it, I thought of that guy's channel again. Get out of my brain. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like a virus, and once you get it, you can't get rid of it. So the podcast format, kind of going to talk about things that don't really require me showing you a video. There's tons of videos out there where a guy I scored 11 billion damage. Look how awesome I am. Those videos are aplenty. So portable format. Gonna have studio guests, and Stu has so far been a great one. This is A+ material right here on Stu's part.
A studio guest.
Oh, I didn't even know that I did a thing with that. That was good.
Thing I've said right now.
That was good. No, it's okay. No, I'll just edit it out anyways.
We'll cut it out.
Oh, we're gonna sound like champions when I get done with post processing, and all the stuff I've Googled, all the apps I've downloaded. This will be historic. This will be when they narrated the first man on the moon. This is gonna be epic stuff. Don't you worry. So getting into the meat of some of the topics that we're going to cover. Number one, I thought most appropriate, Pixonic's Christmas event is imminent. December 20th to January 5th. Stu, do I have that right?
Yeah, that sounds correct to me.
Okay, so so they're doing a Christmas event, and I suspect that it is going to be probably very similar to the Halloween event. And, if you remember the Halloween event from a few months ago, you could win prizes, unlock additional slots for your clan, which was something that I stupidly didn't realize until the last day. Everybody was spending their pumpkins, and you keep winning. I think I won 1 gold 800 times. Never realizing, I don't know if there was something in the translation. I read the Facebook post, and I did not understand, clearly that the slots are being unlocked by X amount of pumpkins being dumped into the clan. So, my bad on that one. So Stu,
okay, 1,000 skulls will prevail.
Oh, clan plug. Oh, I'm so embarrassed right now. Oh man. Yeah. So, that is my clan. It's true. And I even have made commercials for it, sadly. But no, that is a great group of people. That is a great group of people, and they have been kicking some butt lately. So that's pretty fun, and that could be a whole nother video. You know what I mean? We could have a multi-part, probably 100-part series on that. I'll get to that. I'll let you know when that's coming out.
That'll be the Christmas Eve video. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's me plugging my clan. Please join. So what do you think about this Christmas event? I assume you've probably read up on it and have some thoughts.
Yeah, so I was curious how they were going to put these new bots in and everything, and so I'd been tossing around the idea because it seemed like they have it balanced the way that they want it anyway. regardless of, what new input people are saying, it seems like they have it where they want it. And so given that, I feel like those bots aren't really geared towards like gold tier play. And there are bots in the game that aren't geared towards that either. But like if you had that bot and you were still like a bronze or like a silver tier player, like I think they could be really game changing. But like as far as the other bots, like they can work out really well situationally. Like what's his face? The big one. What's the big one's name? I can't remember.
All right, folks. Stu has had a brief memory lapse, so we're going to pause the show here while he grabs a cup of coffee. But I'm going to swoop in to rescue him. Don't you worry. I believe the large one is called Butch.
Yeah. So with him, I mean, and I've said this in my videos too, but I think the only viable option for him is with like some kind of sniper weapon, then with like either Zeus or Tridents, or having Zeus and Tridents being the ones that you're switching between. I don't think like the close range engagement, it hasn't really worked out that well, and I've tested it quite a bit. And I think it just, because you get into someone's face, like especially if they have like even one thunder, that thing is so fat, like it eats all of it. So
that's a good point.
It just melts like really, really quickly. And so in higher level play where you're running into like 38 Lancelots per round, which, doesn't even make sense.
What's the problem with that?
Like,
what are you saying about Lancelots? What are you trying to imply, Stu? They're overpowered.
I'm trying to imply
they're OP.
Not that they're overpowered, but like if you had a Butch running up against like even just the one thunder from one of those, and you're trying to push in with two thunders, like you're pretty much gone.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I just don't think that I don't know, but personally I don't think that they're really geared towards like top level play, and I think a lot of people are upset like how they are. They're like, oh, like I'm not going to get that. It's underpowered or this and that. And like, well, what if they didn't intend it that way? What if they intended it to be a bot that maybe evened out something in silver tier, which you don't get to test on the test server, And so they may have other plans, I think.
So your theory is that they actually release bots intended for like a targeted tier, even though they like deny the tier system, and well, at least that like kind of like that they don't look at it that way, and it's like proprietary information, and so you think that these have actually been targeted towards like lower tier play.
I think so. I mean, I think they could still do well in like low gold and stuff, but like with Butch, like if it's running two heavy weapons, I think the Carnage can do a better job doing what Butch is doing in low gold to to top level like maxed out play and stuff. I think with the speed and versatility of it, and then it has like the additional shield and stuff and a smaller hitbox, like I think it's a more viable option for running two heavy weapons. Whereas Butch, like it's very specialized. So if you're in lower level play, then having something that has that versatility, I think could really work out. But
I don't know. Stu is highly perceptive here, so he has actually jumped ahead into the show, somehow seeing the future, and he's already discussing the robots. He knew that I wanted to get into like talking about the new robots, and we haven't even finished talking about like the Christmas event, Stu. So stop being, stop being incredibly perceptive. I guess where
I was going with that is that they're going to be available for snowflakes, whatever that will end up looking like when it gets released. But I think they'll get in where they need to get in and stuff. And I don't know that I'm going to worry about like getting one leveled up to wherever. Personally,
there's a lot to unpack there. Stu covered a lot of ground in a very short amount of time. I personally, first off, am offended by the term snowflake. So I'm not really sure why they're using such a highly derogatory term. So I'm gonna have to ask them about that when I speak with them next. But snowflakes. So I mean, maybe we could have called these things, I don't know, like hand grenades. Something like a little bit more I don't know, like violent. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I guess it's Christmas. Okay. So they didn't like my idea of calling them hand grenades. We're going with snowflakes. But so they're
basically the same thing.
Does it sound to you like they are going to only be available during this event?
That it seems like that's what they've like said. I mean, they haven't said anything directly that way, but that's kind of how I've interpreted it as well. And so I don't know if that's going to be the case. I feel like they wouldn't have spent so much time designing them and testing them and stuff if that was going to be the case. I bet like after the event, like they'll be available for maybe workshop points or silver or something like that. But
Yeah. One would hope. It would be interesting though that if you had like a limited edition like bot series, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm giving them, some free stuff there with that thought, but it could be kind of interesting because it's kind of like the slots that you unlock, for your clan during the Halloween event. Like I said, I was a dim bulb. I did not realize that was like a thing. I thought it was like, what do they mean for like the event? And you can like, but then what happens to those people like after? I was so dumb with it. It was like, oh, now I got to boot you out of my clan, bro, because I'm back down to 36 or something. I was like, oh, that's rude. So, didn't end up really doing anything with that till like the last couple of days. But it would be interesting, like a limited series of bots. But I don't know if that's kind of like a balance thing, But with what you mentioned regarding these bots, like I think you did some videos on it. I did some videos on them. Stu, someone is at your door. So
yeah.
Do you need to break away and get the pizza? I mean, Stu, this is kind of like a professional thing going on here, and I assumed that you had locked yourself into a soundproof booth for this. But apparently you're right by your doorbell dinger, and the pizza's here. So is she going to be like...
I didn't think about that. It's actually 10 o'clock, so...
Oh, okay. Was that a clock chime?
No. It was our doorbell. We have a 109-year-old house, and we have really old-school giant doorbells.
Okay, so you're telling a joke right now. That's like... I mean, you literally live in a 109-year-old house?
Yeah, it's 109 years old.
Stu, I think I'm gonna have you back. I think you're gonna have to appear on Warcast episode 2 and tell us more about this ancient domicile that you live in. I mean, because like 109 years old. I mean, it's like the country's not even that old, right? So your house was there before like the United States. And like, I mean, I don't know, like I envision like a dude like, bare chested in like a black leather apron with a giant sledgehammer, like, hitting an enormous bell for your doorbell. Is that what's going on? Is that what I just heard? Because that thing was loud.
Yeah, his name's Hank.
All right, well, we're going to get into Stu's incredibly ancient house and his manservant Hank on a future episode. Currently, we're going to return to the discussion at hand, and that's the Pixonic Christmas event. So yeah, regarding what you were saying with the robots, I kind of like I really love like everything they're doing. You know what I mean? Like I like that like new stuff is coming out because I know I think you've been playing a long time too. But there were times there where it was like you'd get one update every once in a while. It didn't really do a whole lot. Things would break. But now it's kind of like we're getting more and more stuff. Maps, robots, love it or hate it. But there's a lot more going on with the game, I think, as they've, encountered probably a fairly good deal of success. But, that said, I wasn't totally, blown away by the new robots. I was kind of like, I don't really know, like, it just in terms of, like, I only get, like, 5 in my hangar. What am I going to bump for one of these things?
Yeah.
I
personally wouldn't I wouldn't replace anything. Well, my hanger changes every day, but I even considering that, I think I would put a Gareth in before I'd put like a Butch in.
Yeah, that's that was kind of like where I was left, and it kind of seemed to me like they were taking a real solid stab at like truly running like a hybrid bot, because that's a whole thing too, and I actually have that down as like a topic, for like a future show, like the whole hybrid bot concept. Some people swear by them. It doesn't seem like when you see like top ranked clans and top ranked players, it's like very rare that you see a setup that's kind of like one of this and one of that, one of these, type deal. So it seemed to me like they were taking like a legitimate, stab at creating like a hybrid bot platform. Like you said with Butch, he's the heavy robot. He has like 4 heavy slots. You can do like 2 trebuchets and like 2 thunders, for like when that guy comes around the corner, you're like, whoa, watch out, fool, and you like unload the thunders on the guy or something, or, do you go the other route and do 4 trebuchets? Or do you do 4 tridents? And, the theory being like, okay, I'm going to nail this guy with like 2 of these, and then I'm going to switch real quick and I'm going to get him again with 2 more. Which I found on test server actually pretty hard to do, especially like at range.
Yeah.
I guess, maybe they could be limited edition, but, then it seems like probably people would complain, because people do that a lot. And
they do? Wait,
yeah.
Like on the War Robots like Facebook pages and stuff?
Have you heard of this thing called, it's actually, it goes by Facebook, but it sounds more like Complain Book. And it's mostly people, if like I feel like if, like Pixonic bought them a free lunch, it would be like, they would be whining like, where's dessert? You know what I mean? Like, this is, this is unacceptable.
So right.
So
that's one big like motivator behind my channel, was like to just have some more positivity out there and everything. Cause Pixonic would post like on their main page, they'd be like, hey, we're doing this, and then like the first 50 comments are, we hate you, we hate your game, why'd you do this, why'd you do that? And I'm like, that's not what they're looking for. Like, I understand you want to complain, but put that in through the route that they have like in your app, like to complain about it and stuff.
Oh,
like,
you've ruined the game, I'm quitting. And then it's like, they post 5 more things, and that same guy is like quitting like in 5 more posts, and it's like, but we thought you quit, like, why are you still here posting?
Yeah, like
so,
if you wouldn't mind quitting, then we don't have to listen to you.
Yeah, this whole social media thing would be going a lot better. But yeah, there do seem to be the what we lovingly term the negative Nancys out there, that they're not going to like anything. So, not a huge fan of the new bots myself, and if you watch my videos, and maybe I'll do like things with YouTube where you can click on things that take you places to other videos that I've done that are relevant here. But, I wasn't like the biggest fan of them. I can appreciate the concept, but I wasn't necessarily like the biggest fan. And just, again, from a very practical standpoint, I don't know what I would kick out of my hangar now, like in favor of one of these things. So, I kind of like the light one, I think, is like Jesse. I'm kind of like, this is kind of like, this is like a Patton who has 2 broken arms. And, you have to wait for his other arms to, like, heal before you can, like, shoot those guns, too. I'm like, why would I not just do a Patton? I get that he's faster. But, I'm just like, I don't know about that one. The medium one, I think, is probably the one that if you were going to make a case for bumping something out of your current hangar, the medium one, I think, just by virtue of the weapons you can mount on it, like Orkans, the medium slot weapons, some of them are pretty good. Like Orkans, 4 of those.
Swap out and then have another full clip of Orkans. Like, that's a pretty huge deal.
Yeah. And I saw it done. A guy had it on, or maybe, I don't know who it was, but I saw a guy with 4 Columbuses too. And that didn't seem like a terrible idea either. So I think a case could be made, for the medium one. I think its name is like Doc. There's like this whole like Wild West theme going on. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. But it's like this, the whole gunfighter deal. And so I think a case could be made.
Out of all of them, I think you're right. I think there's a solid case to be made for Doc. I think if played right, I think he could do really well in upper level play. And like if you think about too, like with Molots being buffed recently, or however you say it, everyone pronounces it so different. But
and can I just let me just jump in real quick on the concept of pronunciations. I take a lot of flack because I say, I don't know how I'm just going to say it how I say it. I pronounce the robot Gepard. I say Gepard. Now, apparently, I'm a giant idiot, and I've gotten, I don't know how many comments now where people are like, dude, you're saying it wrong. Or like, dude, why do you say it that way? And I'm like, it's like tomato. Like, am I going to go tell a British dude he's wrong? You know what I mean? I mean, it's just kind of like how I think of it.
A Russian company made this game.
Yeah, it's it's a Russian company. Russian company using like a German word or something. Like, I looked it up. It means cheetah, apparently. I had no idea. But, in my show prep, I had to get ready. My show prep, apparently it's a cheetah. So I think maybe I guess people say like Jeopard or something, but I mean, like, I'm an American, filthy, stinking, caveman, style American, and I can't say stuff like that. I'm gonna say Gepard, bro. You know what I mean? That's just kind of like my thing. So yeah. So with the Malot thing, I say Malot. Now maybe I'm probably sounding like an idiot again, but I've heard it some people say Molot. Some people are like, Molotov cocktail. It's like, how do we pronounce this thing? So I just kind of wanted to put that out there because I don't know, like on your channel, but I take grief on my channel for how I pronounce things.
I never have. So
what?
That must be just some kind of tender mercy for me because
your subscribers must like you. They must like you.
Maybe. Well, actually, no, that's not true. There's one time. So I call it the shoots, but like I know how you're supposed to say it in German, like it's like Schütze.
It's not shoots. Like, I call it shoots too.
Yeah, that's what I would call it. But like, since it's a German word, like if you're actually pronouncing it, it'd be like Schütze. And I'm not going to say that because I don't want to sound pretentious. But like, instead, like to that person, instead of sounding pretentious, I sound like an idiot. But
see,
that was just one guy. So.
Well, that's a double-edged sword there. We're damned if we do, damned if we don't type thing. That's because I'm like, okay, yeah, it's called a shoots because it like shoots stuff, right? I mean, like I don't know what it means.
Yeah, it means rifleman in German. So
there you go. Crap. Actually, I mean, this is right now. This podcast has taken an edifying turn. I mean, people are learning things left and right that don't even have anything to do about robots, and we're like totally off script here, and people are learning, and this is great. I think this is probably going to be very, very successful. I think thanks to I knew Stu was the guy to bring on for the inaugural episode. I knew that was going to be, because he knows things about like what shoots means and how to pronounce stuff. So that's been a success. So what do you think? Like so none of the new robots finding their way into Stu's hangar then?
Well, if there was one, I guess we were before we got into pronunciations. But yeah, with Doc, like I could see him making it in there as a counter to Furies for me. Because if you put like with the recent buff to the mullets on there, mm-hmm. if you dumped a clip of the mullet tees into a Fury and then immediately switch to like constantly fire. Mm-hmm. At the Fury, like that's a pretty solid amount of damage and it's constant pressure. So they're either going to move out of the way, try to move towards you. Like it should be pretty predictable what they'll do when they're being constantly standing in a spray of bullets. So
yeah,
regardless of whether like, even if they're not maxed out, like if they're standing in bullet spray, like they're probably going to move. Like you probably have level 1.
That's a really good point.
And like you would get them to move because they don't want to stand in it.
That's a really good point because I had not considered the Malot T, the medium Malots for that bot. Because I did the reviews and stuff of those robots prior to this most recent buff, and so that could be pretty interesting because I'm already I don't know if you're seeing it, but I'm already starting to see like Griffins and stuff. Like Malots are starting to come out of the woodwork all of a sudden, and I'm trying to be like elite and like pwn people in my Trident Fury, and just tick everybody off and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm getting like obliterated from 800 meters, by this guy that I can't hit no matter what I do. I'm not going to catch him, and if I do catch him, he's just going to jump out of the way. So that could be an interesting setup. I can't remember. Do you remember what's the cooldown on the the swipping? I don't know I'm making up words now. The swapping ability, the quick draw for the medium.
It's 18 seconds now.
Something like that.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds close.
And so with the dump time of the Molots, then like the other ones should be reloaded by the time you dump your second clip. But like I think it's like 16 seconds to dump a clip of those. So like you should have like fairly constant like pressure if you're using that. Mm-hmm. So and I kind of showed that in some of the videos on my channel, like with the Hydras on it. Like it can be completely obnoxious. But
yes, Hydras have also become obnoxious. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Quite obnoxious. And when they buffed them so that their trajectories were better, like those things will curve around corners like crazy. And I think I remember you talking about that in one of your videos, like this guy just like arcing them around a corner and you're like, what?
The AI is ridiculous on the Hydra missiles. I mean, it's like they literally come around like it's not just like 90 degrees. It's like they'll come around 90 degrees of like the outside corner of the building, and then they come around 90 degrees of the inside corner to get me. And it's pure evil. You know what I mean? Let's just call it what it is. It's pure evil and super annoying. And now I wish I'd never made that stupid video because probably literally like 4 guys bought Hydras because of my video, but still that's like 4 more super annoying people out there that are now like, eating my face with these, buff super missiles. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So what do you think about the potential for this event featuring the same kind of mechanic that we saw with the Halloween event of unlocking additional slots for your clan?
I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, with the slots and stuff like they definitely made it so that it was difficult to do. Like did you unlock any slots in your clan?
Yes, I did. I unlocked one. Like I said, we caught on late. I unlocked one, but I did it the old-fashioned way. It's called capitalism, and I just pretty much bought it. So I know that's like a dirty thing to do. I'm not a true gamer, and I'll get hate mail and everything. But yeah, I bought it. I swiped the credit card. No big deal. because I felt bad because I told my clan dudes, I'm like, hey, don't worry about it, because I didn't understand it, because I'm a bad clan leader. And, I was like, just, spend your pumpkins, keep winning 1 gold over and over and over again, and you'll have a lot of fun with that. And then on like the second to last day, I realized like, ooh, crap, I made a mistake. So I just bought it. But yeah, it does progressively get kind of ridiculous to unlock the additional slots. Yes,
pretty much.
Yeah,
you get to that 4th one, and I think it was like 75,000 pumpkins or something like that. Like,
yeah,
it's like crazy.
Which I'm okay with. I think it's
that with the snowflakes.
Yeah,
and I think that's good because I think it keeps it out of reach for like even the top tier, most ridiculous whatever clans and stuff. I think it keeps it out of reach for them just becoming permanently on top. But it also is a good marketing scheme for Pixonic because people are going to buy it. Like probably every clan was doing that, and so
yeah, and I don't have a problem with that either. Yeah, you got to make money. You know what I mean? It's like if they're not making money, then we're not going to get new stuff, and you know what I mean. It gets static and everything, so I'm okay with that too.
We don't get updates, we don't get patches,
right?
Yeah, so I'm fine with them making money. People complain about that, but I'm like, whatever. I'm fine with them making money.
Yeah, so I think I kind of think it's almost like kind of obligatory that they're going to have to bring it back because I'm sure a lot of clans probably didn't take advantage of it or didn't have maybe the activity or firepower necessary to unlock slots, because I saw some people, I think they got up to like 40 slots. It was like, they went up like 4 whole, slots in one event. So I was kind of thinking like, all right, maybe, for Christmas, they're probably going to do the same thing, but I'm not exactly sure. Now, every once in a while I'm like fortunate and I get to actually talk to Pixonic and they kind of like tell me stuff. And I think like that's true of like other, hosts as well. And they've been really good, and I've done videos about this, or I've mentioned it on videos previously, that they've been really great about like working with people like us that kind of help them promote their stuff, and it kind of helps everybody, So they kind of gave me like a little bit of insider info, but they didn't kind of like want me telling like too much. So my little nugget here, if you're still with us, 2 hours later, is you want to be there early on the morning that the event starts. So try to be there early on December 20th and, and really kind of like, invest and play the event because I believe according to, again, it's kind of like, it's all like, it's all hazy now, it's they didn't want me to get real specific, but there's supposed to be a couple like surprises. So I don't know what they are, they wouldn't tell me. But there's supposed to be a couple cool things, that they're going to do, and they're trying to keep it, like a surprise. I don't know if you remember, Stu, like, I guess they didn't tell me not to speculate, so I'll go ahead and do that. But if you remember last Christmas, or was it the Christmas before? I can't remember, but they gave away like free stuff. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. So I actually started playing like the week of Christmas last year.
So what you're saying is you're a noob. Giant noob sauce, newbie McNooberson going on here.
Yeah, I'm coming up on a year.
All right, so
I do remember the Chinese New Year's event last year where they had like half price gold everything. Like that was a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah, there have been a couple of things. Yeah, they've been getting better about having like, because if you look at like other really popular game apps, like they're all about events. There's always it's like like Masters of the Universe event this week. And it's like win secret crystals or like whatever their resource or currency is. But that's interesting that you've only been playing. So what, about a year then?
Yeah. So since last December.
Okay, let me check my sheet here. That's me checking my sheet. 6 things you didn't know about Stupendous. He's a noob, folks. Surprise. I'm just teasing, of course. I'm sure Stu probably knows a lot more about the game than I do, and but so I'll dial it back a little bit further because here's something you may not have known about me. I actually started on iOS. So yeah, I know, like, right, like I'll have to, like, there'll be like a shocking sound like when I get to that part of the editing, like dun dun dun, 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 dun. Yes. So I started on iOS, not like when the game first started, but I've been playing for a while, and then, probably, I don't think it's been a little over a year now, I switched over to Android. And I remember on iOS, they did Christmas one year, which must only be 2 years ago. If you don't remember the other thing, maybe it's 2 years ago. But anyways, there was a Christmas event where you didn't play for anything. It wasn't like the Halloween thing, but they just like gave you free stuff. So I was kind of wondering, like, maybe that'll be a thing. You just like log in and it's like this big crate and like you click like, whatever get or something. And it was like, I think it was like, there was like gold, silver, and I can't remember what else, but it was something like that. So I was kind of like, theorizing like, well, maybe they'll do something like that, So anyways, I think kind of like the gist is that this is probably, it sounds like they've put some work into this thing and it should be kind of interesting, to see. They've got the bots that you can only buy with like, the snowflake currency, some other kind of little like surprise. Yeah, what I deem hand grenades, because that's a much more Americanized term. We're calling these things grenades, people. Never say snowflake in my presence again. So there was, I think we have thoroughly discussed the Christmas event. So if you're not already motivated for that, I think you should probably get motivated because it's going to be pretty cool. So it sounds like there's at least maybe a little something for everybody. If you get to unlock clan slots, I think that's a great goal. Like, if you don't like the robots, if you don't like anything else, like, I know you're going to want, you're going to like having more people in your clan to help you, like, dominate, So I think we've thoroughly covered that. The last thing that I kind of wanted to get into a little bit, what do you think about, like, what is the deal with, like, stealth nerfs and buffs? Like, we how, like, we kind of, like, you would think this would be a thing that they would just like tell us like, hey, we buffed the Molots and the Punishers, but they kind of don't. Now, I noticed on the iOS release on Facebook, they mentioned it. They mentioned tweaking those guns or something, but on the Android one, I'm pretty sure that was like not in there.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about it, and it wasn't in the notes for the test server or anything, but I happened to notice it, that test server, and I was like, what the crap?
Yeah.
Like, these are like way more potent.
So like what do you think? What's behind all this the stealthiness on their part? Like, what do you think's going on there? Why don't they want to tell us it? Like, hey guys, we nerfed this thing. I mean, probably because it makes people mad or something. But I mean, like a buff, like wouldn't that be good news?
Yeah, I'm not 100% on that, and that's something I've requested like multiple times. Like if just on like their FAQ, wiki whatever page thing, like I'm not saying they need to like say that kind of stuff like that they don't want at the forefront. Like they're trying to get people to do the bots and do the other stuff and whatever. And so like I'm not saying like when they're doing their marketing that they should put that stuff up there, but I think that they should probably. I think it'd be nice if they just always put their patch notes, like their release notes, like up on that page. Just have like a running list of like what the latest patch is and what it did.
Almost like a change log type thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good just shopkeeping kind of thing for them to do anyways, and then just keeping the community in the loop on it, and because I don't really see a benefit to like keeping it a secret kind of thing,
Well, and it also kind of seems like
people are going to find out, and then they're just going to be like, "Why didn't they tell us?"
Well,
and so,
yeah,
like, I just feel like you're just fostering distrust.
Right. That was going to be my point. That like it's kind of like all this stuff eventually gets figured out. Somebody somewhere is like doing the math, or they're like they notice it, and then it's kind of like, hey, why didn't they tell us? I mean, I guess they're a company and they've got like their business to run, and I guess obviously they must feel that it's in their best interest. So, they can do what they're going to do, but I'm just kind of like, why not just say like, oh, by the way, those guns that nobody uses right now, we buff them. Like,
we're balancing the
game.
Yeah,
they may indeed have,
okay.
They may be applicable. You might want to use them to counter, the 800 Trident Furies that you see per game, per team, like you kill the dude and then he just comes back with like another Trident Fury. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. I'm like, what the? No.
Yeah. Like who has that much time?
I just wasted a Griffin taking out your other one.
Yeah. Because that's what you do, right? It's like, you go like kamikaze, like I'm going to get this guy, I'm going to take him out, for my team, and it's like your last bot, you blow the dude up and like you die. And the same dude rolls out like in another max Trident Fury, and you're just like defeated. You're just like, okay, I'm quitting the game.
Girl.
Yeah, and then it's then you just like run to Facebook, and then you're that guy we were talking about earlier. It's like, oh, I'm quitting the game. This sucks. You've ruined it.
The Tridents are OP on the Fury and the stuff and things.
Yeah, and again, I mean, we can go off topic, but like with the Trident Fury, I'm like, the thing costs 5,000 gold. The Tridents are like, I think like 7,500 workshop points a piece. And then like all the silver to like max those things, and you got to do it 3 times.
Oh my gosh!
And at level 12,
it's like 5 months per Trident.
Yeah, they're at level 12.
So they better be good.
Yeah, that's my point. They're like 26 million a pop at level 12, and you got to do it 3 times. Now, I didn't have like the Adrian Chong dictator stockpile of like silver like he has. I didn't save up like 9 trillion silver prior to them making those adjustments. If you remember, like I think several months ago, it was kind of like they dialed down the silver that you were getting for stuff. And you dump in like a really good game, but it's a loss, and you get like 12 silver. Even though you don't go negative anymore. Which it was like, everybody was like, woo, we don't go negative, we don't lose money. But it's like, dude, you're not making money now either. It's like I got to score over 1 million points just to make a couple of bucks on this thing, to make my third level 12 upgrade. So I'm kind of like, I can kind of see that, if the Tridents were any less than what they are now, why do it? Like you said, months, zillions of silver, and it goes on a gold robot that costs 5,000. I mean that's a pretty.
There better be a perk to using that.
That's a hefty investment. Yeah, that's a hefty investment. So I'm okay. I'm okay with. I'll probably get hate mail on this. It's not real. Everybody's like, if you're not in there like at 2 meters, you're not a real player or something. And I'm like, okay, first of all, why?
No, you can play the game how you want.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a case to be made against those like Zenit, Natasha, Noricum people. No offense, people.
Oh, definitely.
No offense if that's you. If you're like, ducking your head right now or pulling your coat up over your face or something. Yeah, I mean, do what you want. But, there's certain things you don't see at max level play, and that's kind of one of them. But the Trident Fury, I mean, that thing's money in the bank. I mean, that's no joke. But it's also a huge investment. So to me, that says balance, and that says it's okay. So I'm all right with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Stu, now that we have basically solved all of the game's problems, I think we covered, I don't know, I might have blacked out, but I'm pretty sure that we created world peace in the process too. Anything else? Closing? I
haven't gotten any hate mail.
Any closing thoughts? Yeah, your phone hasn't been blowing up right now. It's like you're not getting any hate mail. So any closing thoughts from Stupendous, from the Stupendous Robots channel?
I don't think so. I think we covered a pretty wide gamut of stuff. I think we're pretty good.
That actually went pretty well. I was surprised. I thought you were gonna be terrible. I thought I was just gonna have to is there like an app or something you can make somebody more likable? But you were actually a incredibly likable guy and very knowledgeable about the game. And like I said earlier, I was like, this, first episode, I got to go with Stu. I got to get Stu on here. Stu, what do you think about possibly coming back in the near future? Have you now decided like you're never going to have anything to do with me again? Or do you think like you would return for a future episode?
Can you still hear me? I thought I already hung up. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Stu, are you there? That's weird. I can't hear Stu. Stu?
Oh, the stack. Hey, break.
Yeah.
No, but with no, I would love to do this again. It's a lot of fun. You're fun to hang out with, and it's kind of funny. Like, so the first time I ever hopped on Discord was like last week for Adrian's 25K subscriber thing.
Yes.
And it took me like 5 minutes to get used to the fact that I wasn't just listening to him talk, like because I've watched his channel.
All right, it's live. You can talk to him.
When we started talking too, is that same thing? Is like a couple minutes, like, okay, respond, like you need to respond because he's talking to you directly.
Yeah, you're like, this is weird. Adrian's video's talking to me. Like, how does it know my name? Boy, that Adrian, his stuff's advanced. He has some sort of advanced AI in his videos that like detect what I'm saying, and Yeah, no, that was a live stream. Yeah, I need to go back and watch your video. I did the later one. I tried to make the one that you were on. I think it was like the 12 o'clock one or something. But I work 49 hours a day type thing, so I couldn't make that one. But I was able to make the later one that nobody saw. So that was a lot of fun actually. I thought that was pretty cool. I was on there with Adrian and I believe her name is Twinkie, Twinkie Zone.
Nice.
So that was pretty fun.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she was very nice. That was pretty fun. So coming up, I'm hopefully I have solved the technical riddle. It's like a Gordian knot here, that I've been trying to untie to do the streaming thing. But I think I got this sucker on lockdown now. I think I got it. I think I got it figured out. So if a live stream appears as a notification in the near future, you'll know that I was successful in my quest.
Well, I'll come hang out on it.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's another thing too. I can now that now that I have Stu contractually obligated to pretty much do whatever I want with my channel now. Yeah, you'll see him on my live streams and podcasts and things like that. So yeah, this is gonna be money. This is gonna be fun. So Stu, thank you very much for agreeing to come on and being such a good sport and a great channel host. And again, if you have not seen Stu's channel, please go over there, and I will include links and all kinds of stuff that'll pop up, and you can click on his channel. Please subscribe to him and support him because his stuff is really good. He has really good commentary, really good strategy videos, which is kind of Stu's thing. So if you want to get in there and be like, how do I play a map? How do I play a bot? Stu's channel is the place you want to go. Stupendous on YouTube. So that's it for the first official Warcast, the Center Beacon podcast. The idea with this is to perhaps get one of these up, hopefully weekly every Sunday. It could go bi-weekly. Little bit of work to this, coordinating people's schedules and stuff. So I don't know if I can promise one every single Sunday, but that's going to be the goal. So if you enjoyed this, please consider liking the video, the podcast, subscribing if you would be so kind, and continue watching because there's going to be more of this, and then of course all of my regular videos as well. So thank you very much. I hope you got some entertainment out of this, and have a very Merry Christmas, and we will see you next time at the Center Beacon.